Why is it I can get a mirror polish off of my water stone, but when I bring a diamond into it, I can't get that mirror polish? That's because the two plates use a different method for cutting. Diamonds work kind of the way you think they work. They have aggregate that sticks up out of the surface, and when you bring in the blade to sharpen, that aggregate actually cuts into the steel and cuts grooves in it. Water stones actually work on a slightly different principle. When you add water to it and then you bring the blade over, you actually are starting to knock off the grit on top. And that grit moves around and acts more like an orbital sander on the surface. You're not getting perfectly straight scratches, you're actually getting scratches that move a little bit as the aggregate has to move out of the way and bounce around on the plate. And that's why you can use the exact same grit size, but it looks a little bit more polished with the water stone than it does with the diamond stone. And actual keenness of the edge, these two will get it to the exact same location because the scratches are the same depth. You can see the diamond scratches a lot easier than you can see a water stone or oil stone scratch. And that's why for a water stone or oil stone, you need a lubricant on there for it to work. For diamonds, you can actually use them without anything on there. The only downside to it is eventually you're going to fill up all of that grit with steel that has been sheared off, and eventually it fills up to the point where it's not cutting much anymore. And that's why you need to bring in something to move it out of the way quickly. I use a cheap window cleaner because it dries quickly. The actual additives to the water allow it to evaporate much quicker than straight water, but straight water works perfectly fine. You just might want to wipe it off a little bit faster. I know a lot of people use honing fluid, which isn't going to rust them. You can use any liquid you want to make the diamonds work perfectly fine. Whereas with a water stone, you use water or you use oil, depending if it's a water or oil stone. Just realize there's more than one way to get stoned. I know, that's a bit of an edgy subject.